Global reaction. Princess of Asturias Award Ceremony 2025 sparks urgent attention. The world expected elegance. Spain expected tradition. But no one expected this. At the Princess of Asturias Awards 2025, something shifted. A silence. A gasp. A message hidden in plain sight. And just when everyone thought they understood what was happening, they realized they were wrong. Very wrong. Because what unfolded wasn't just a ceremony. It was an urgent signal. And the world felt it. The Princess of Asturias Awards have always been a showcase of poise, intellect, and royal dignity. For decades, the world has watched Spain honor remarkable individuals who change lives, push boundaries, and elevate the human spirit. But the 2025 ceremony, it did something different, something unexpected, something that triggered immediate global reaction within minutes, before the applause even faded. It began with the atmosphere. A tension thick enough to feel through a screen. The kind of tension that doesn't announce itself, but settles quietly, slowly, until you realize your breath is shallow and your eyes won't move away from the stage. Even seasoned reporters whispered that something felt off. But no one could name it. Then she walked in, Princess Leonor, future queen, heir to a monarchy carrying centuries of fragile history. Her presence has always drawn attention, but today it drew urgency. She carried herself with the composure of a queen twice her age, yet there was something different, something sharper. A seriousness in her expression that suggested she was carrying more than her royal duty. Almost as if she stepped into that grand hall not just to present awards, but to deliver a message. And that's where the first curiosity loop begins. Why did the world react so intensely? And what did Leonor do that sparked immediate international attention? The first clue came the moment she began her speech. Her voice, clear, calm, controlled, filled the hall. But the words, they had weight. A kind of emotional gravity that made audiences sit forward in their seats. She spoke of unity, responsibility, and the fragility of global trust. Her tone wasn't ceremonial. It wasn't symbolic. It was urgent. And just as viewers around the world were beginning to process the intensity of her message, something else happened, something subtle but unmistakably meaningful. King Felipe and Queen Letizia exchanged a glance. Not a casual glance. Not the supportive nods they usually shared during these ceremonies. This one looked loaded, complicated. Parents watching their daughter step into something larger than any award ceremony. A moment where the roles shifted, not dramatically, but unmistakably. A second curiosity loop opens. What did they see in Leonor's speech that the rest of the world only felt? Because as Leonor continued, the cameras captured reactions that deepened the mystery. International guests from Europe, Latin America, Asia, and the US reacted with a blend of surprise and admiration. Some seemed emotional, others rigid. A few visibly unsettled, as though her message touched geopolitical nerves. And then, came the moment that ignited headlines around the globe. Leonor paused, looked directly into the audience, and delivered a line that resonated far beyond Spain. A call for responsibility from leaders, citizens, and institutions, spoken not as a princess but as a future queen addressing an uncertain world. It wasn't political. It wasn't divisive. Yet it struck a chord that reverberated instantly across social media, television broadcasts, and diplomatic circles. But why? Because the world is at a point where a young future monarch's voice carries symbolic weight. And her message, calm, powerful, unshakably sincere, felt like a statement of readiness, as if she was stepping into her role earlier than expected. This leads into the next curiosity loop. Was this planned? Or was this Leonor taking control of her destiny in real time? Experts immediately split into two camps. One side argued this was a carefully crafted moment, approved, polished, intentional. The other insisted it felt too raw, too emotional, too honest to be rehearsed. Even palace watchers, people who have studied the Spanish royal family for decades, admitted they had never seen Leonor speak with such authority. Such conviction. Such unmistakable independence. And then, the global reaction intensified. Major networks replayed her speech on a loop. Analysts from Denmark to the UK, from Spain to the US, debated her meaning. Some praised her for stepping into the role of a modern monarch, empathetic, courageous, and deeply aware of global issues. Others questioned whether she was signaling urgent concerns that the public wasn't ready to hear. But amidst the analysis, something else emerged: emotion. Young people across the world reacted with something unexpected: hope. Hope in leadership that feels human. Hope in royalty that feels relevant. Hope in a future queen who speaks not from protocol, but from heart. This opens yet another curiosity loop. What happens next for Leonor? And did this moment quietly redefine her relationship with Spain, and with her own parents? Behind the scenes, reports hinted at a mixture of pride and concern. A mother and father realizing their daughter is stepping fully into her destiny, earlier, stronger, more visibly than anticipated. A transition not of power, but of presence. A shift that every royal family must face, the moment the heir stops being the future and becomes the now. And that is why this ceremony sparked global attention. Because it wasn't just about awards. It wasn't just about tradition. It wasn't just about royalty. It was about change. Visible, immediate, emotional. A princess becoming a leader. A royal family moving into a new era. A world suddenly aware that Spain's future queen is no longer waiting for her moment. She is already stepping into it. And the question that lingers, the biggest curiosity loop of all, is this. If one ceremony can create this much reaction, what will happen when Leonor finally takes the throne? That question remains open, and the world is watching.